Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to episode number 9 in our FTB Oceanblock series. Been having issues with my recording. Every time I switch my video source, my microphone gets reset, and I don't notice it sometimes. So I recorded an intro clip and did a few projects, or started on projects, and didn't realize that the system was not actually recording my voice until it was done. So I'm going to have to go through and show you what I did. My goal for the day is to get a mob crushing factory finished. And so the first thing I need to do that is to get the machine frames done so that I can build it. But that requires pink slime. Last episode we did the netherite so we can get that done. But the pink slime comes from the mob slaughter factory. So I crafted some blurst earth and I have that inside there. And we have a mob slaughter factory running here, killing whatever spawns. And when it does, we get liquid meat and we get pink slime. So I did that, and I got some pink slime put into a dissolution chamber, ready to go. Rather than having to clear latex out and switch, I made a second dissolution chamber. For now, I just have it sitting over here with my other miscellaneous industrial foregoing stuff, which I will be moving somewhere soon, but this is my old one, and this is where I am making the standard machine frames, which I need for making the advanced machine frames. So that way I can just leave the latex in here and not have to worry about it. So we actually just need to make 2 of these simple ones so that we can use them in the recipe for the advanced. Not sure, it doesn't have any way to shift click them in, does it? I had already prepped all the items I need. Last thing I needed was these nether bricks, which I now have. And there we go. Second simple frame. I'm just doing 2 because I have 1 bucket of pink slime makes 2 of them. And I'm sure I will need another one in due course. Okay, so we have the 2 simple machine frames. So the recipe for the advanced machine frames, I don't know that these are shaped recipes, but I'm going to put them in that way anyway, just because it makes it easy for me to know what I still need. So I still need to get the gold. Have that. Then I need to get diamond gears. I have some diamonds in here, but oh yeah, it's actually enough. So craft the diamond gears. I need 2 of them. Put one of those in. All I need for this recipe is the netherite scraps. And to make the netherite, taking that. Wait, yeah. Make netherite. We need to take debris and take it up to a high temperature jar and convert it. How many do we have? We have 48 already. That's not bad at all. Now, I'm not going to craft them all into netherite scrap because I can actually craft them directly into netherite with smelting. But for now, this is the only way that I can get the actual scraps. So we're going to do this. I'm going to need 4 of these. I'll be making 2 of these. Put you away. Just okay. So that's the last thing we need to make the advanced machine frames, which is the hard part of the mob crusher. Right. Yep. Doesn't look like it has to be saved recipe at all. Good to know. Especially for down the road when we decide that we want to automate. All right. So that's those done. That done. Now what we want to do, oh, we actually already made that one. This is what we're looking to do. So mob crusher, all these things are fairly straightforward. Let me collect them all, and then we will get a mob crusher made. I've gotten everything together except for 2 books. And to make books, I would need paper. To make paper, I have a couple options. I can go the route of getting sugarcane, growing sugarcane, probably by far the easiest. Or I can get sawdust, which would not be hard. I don't know why if you can craft 3 sawdust into 6 paper, you would craft 4 sawdust into paper. Or I can get tree bark. That's an option. This would probably be the easiest option, which doesn't require any machinery. To get the sugar cane, I need to set up a sluice. Or I can set up a precision sawmill, which would not be difficult. I think since I've been enjoying mechanism, I will go the route of making a precision saw. So what we need for that is go and bookmark what we need. Precision sawmill is a steel casing. So I need steel, osmium, and structural glass. Don't think I have any more structural glass. I will check. So the structural glass for that is made 4 cast iron, and I think I still have some cast iron here. Oh, I only have 3 left. Do I have any in here? I do. So to make that, we're gonna do. We just need one of these recipes because we only need 4 pieces. Then steel and osmium. Have some steel in here. Osmium is on the wall. Okay, so then all I need is iron. And some of these, and some of these. And then I craft our precision sawmill. Precision sawmill uses wood to make sawdust, which we can use to make paper. Let's go install this machine up on our mechanism row. Means we're going to need a power cable for it. I actually have it underneath it. Okay, so let's just do it with 1, see how much sawdust we get each one. Ooh. I like that they give you the stripped oak log back. Let's see what I get from it. sawmill planks. What happens if I sawmill sticks? There we go. I only need 3 of these anyway. Sweet. That gets what we need to make the paper. Then we can make our book using this recipe. And that's the last thing we need to make our mob crusher. But getting the mob crusher is really just the very first step. Actually, that's not a dismember recipe. This is just a crafting recipe. I have it right here. So, mob crusher, unlike the slaughter factory, uses it'll use the same area, same things inside, same mobs, but instead of getting us pink slime and liquid meat, it will give us experience and mob items. So let's do, for this one, let's turn this so it needs to be run with a redstone signal. That way this one won't run, only the mob crusher will, which means we need to get power over to it. I have run a power line that goes underneath this thing right here. So we can just run it over like this. Oh, you know what? This, I didn't make the upgrade for the area yet. Let's just borrow this one. This will only kill stuff directly in front of it, but if I put in a range 2 upgrade, now it kills everything in a 5x5 area. So we'll turn off this area, but we will show this area. Yeah, so anything that spawns in there is killed by the mob crusher. So that's great. We're going to need to set up a fluid tank, and we're going to have to set up a way for the items to get handled. And so, unlike the mob slaughter factory, I need access to more sides to this crusher. So I'm going to have to decide how I want to do that. I can do it in a few ways. One, I could make the mob crusher go one range bigger, which means that I could put it back one, because it'll work through the wall. Which means I could access the sides of the machine. I could also use mob entangler, or the block entangler. Basically that involves making an entangled block, and then entangling it to the mob crusher, and then that way I can hook up connections to it, even though I can't actually hook them up next to it. The issue is that I need to get ender pearls for that. So I think the best thing I can do right now is just get some storage. I already have something. Just want like a barrel or a chest. Just see if I have anything downstairs already made. And then I will hook up some item pipes to the back of that mob crusher so we can keep the items coming out until we get ender pearl. What do we got in here? What I could do, grab this crate. I think I'll just make a chest, like a double chest. Use for now. And if I go into my bag, do I already have item pipes? I pulled it. Alright, so let's go get that set up, and then we'll let it run for a while until we get some ender pearls. Trying to make a decision as to how I want to handle our essence. It's already full. 32 buckets. Have not been doing this for long. I think it works like the... Looks like it works like the sludge, where it will continue to go, it'll just slow down. So, we need a way to get that essence out of there. What I was looking at is that I can do an advanced black hole tank with an advanced machine frame. I happen to have one, because you can make 2 of them with 1 bucket of pink slime. Little lucky fortune there. All we need is 3 plastic, which I have, 2 eyes of ender, which I can easily make, and an ender pearl. So just need 3 ender pearls, and I already got 5 out of this system. So I'm going to go make 2 eyes of ender, craft a black hole tank. That's going to hold 65,000 buckets of fluid. So, should last us a while. What I want to do is some blaze powder. So let's make these. Just 2 of those. And then I need a couple of buckets. I don't have any iron in there. Let's grab 2 buckets. I can actually go 1 tier higher with the black hole tanks then, but it requires us to make a supreme machine frame, which means we need to get ether gas, which is made by using a laser drill on a wither. So we're a little behind that technological curve. But my thought on the black hole tank is that because it is an industrial foregoing machine, and the mob crusher is an industrial foregoing machine, maybe it will also block light like the mob crusher does. I don't know for sure, but if it does, that means I can probably put it right above mob crusher, and I can pump the fluid directly into it. Now let's see, does that keep it dark in there? It does. Now the question is, if I set this fluid, push, oh it does, that's great. So now we have an advanced black hole tank here that is filling up with essence. I can get rid of this up here because I don't actually need it. And now I'll be able to connect a fluid pipe to the advanced black hole tank. So if I need more space or if I want to pull it out in an automated way, I can do that through there. Power is connected and items are connected. And this I will run a line down to our storage wall and start getting things sorted out down there. So that was actually a lot simpler than I expected it to be. The entire thing is now working. So we can just let that run. If we want to use this mob slaughter factory to get more pink slime, all we have to do is turn off the crusher. And then turn that back on. We can pull out the add-on. Eventually I can make another one and I can do some more automated things. But honestly, I don't need pink slime often. I don't know that I'm ever going to use liquid meat. So I don't know that I will need that. So we will probably just let this go to collect us a bunch of mob drops. We'll get this connected to a storage wall. We already have 7 more ender pearls. That's awesome. Yeah, so let me get some wiring done behind the scenes to get this connected down into our basement storage. We want to have that storage chest go into the storage wall on south side over here. Let's see what the... So basically we want to go to 263, 4891 is where we want to connect it to. Okay, so yeah, I just have to get some item pipes created and get them connected up, and then we'll get that sorting getting done, and we'll go from there. I ran item pipes from the bottom of this chest, and I ran them out underneath the walls of this room, and I connected them to all three of my storage walls. One for the tree farm that has sticks in it, the one for the sluices because it has inferium and redstone in it, and then the new wall that I put down, south wall. And I'm slowly adding in drawers for all the items that we need. So I have this access to get behind here. Right. You can see it just runs down into the drawer controller, and then all of the drops that we have get sorted out into these. These are all the things that I had more than a stack of or close to a stack of. And then the redstone automatically goes into our redstone drawer. Inferium automatically goes into our inferium drawer, and the sticks go over there where the sticks are stored. And so what we're doing now is just letting things run. This advanced black hole tank will last for a good long time. We've been running for 20-30 minutes, and we have 130 tanks. We can go to 65,000 tanks. So that's quite a bit of time before we have to deal with this anymore. That does. Anyway, so that'll run for a good while. This will keep... Items will keep coming out of here and getting put into here. I'm going to get sorted. So all I need to do... Ooh, got a trident out of that? Interesting. So I'm going to let this go, and then when we get things that are starting to fill it up, we'll deal with them as they come. For right now, these items are all pretty rare, so I don't need to worry about them for the moment. But I'm going to let it run and see what else we get large amounts of, because eventually these other items will just get imported into our refined storage system. But I don't want to have tons of things going in there needlessly if we end up getting a lot of a particular item that we don't want, or an item that we should store. The rules I'll probably put on the wall, because eventually I'm going to want to have all those anyway. But that's where we're at with that. This system should keep us in mob drops for quite a long time. And that opens us up to some new technologies that we didn't have access to. A lot of things require ender pearls or gated behind that, and we're getting a fairly decent amount of them. We already have, if we look in the drawer here, we already have 26 ender pearls, which, since we started today's episode with 0, is huge amount. So we can deal with it. We can do a lot of things with that. The next thing I want to work with is doing flux network, because that's what we wanted the ender pearls for in the first place. So the main thing is that we need ender pearls to make flux cores. The flux cores are used to make flux plugs and flux points. And so basically we set up a network for wireless power storage, and then when we want to put down power, we can just put down a flux point, and then when we have a power system, we can put a flux plug on it, and then we don't have to worry about running massive power cables all the way across our base. And like, for example, right here we have a power generator, and we have a power cable that's just running through the floor, because I left it there because I knew it wasn't going to be there for long. So the next episode I'm going to work on cleaning up our power systems, figuring out where we want to have them, and then just moving some things around, getting rid of most of the power cables and things like that. So a good example of what we can use the plugs for is that on each of these arms in here, we can just put one flux point, and then that will make it so that we can get rid of all of this universal cable, which will save us quite a bit of A, resources because they use steel to make them, and B, time and effort in running these long cables that are really no fun. So I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. That's where we're going to call it for today. We got a lot done. It seemed a lot easier than I expected it to be, which is not a bad thing. But the amount that we have jumped forward in our technology is pretty awesome in today's. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.